A strange look, a soulless look, and a question that makes Jack's heart stop. Who are you? After a terrible accident, Tien wakes up, but all her memories of Jack seem to have completely disappeared. Has she really lost her memory? Or is there a secret hidden behind those eyes? Join us on Jack's painful and suspenseful journey, as he faces the girl he loves the most, who now looks at him like a stranger. A strange look, a soulless look, and a question that makes Jack's heart stop. Who are you? After a terrible accident, Tien wakes up, but all her memories of Jack seem to have completely disappeared. Has she really lost her memory? Or is there a secret hidden behind those eyes? Join us on Jack's painful and suspenseful journey, as he faces the girl he loves the most, who now looks at him like a stranger. After 3 hours of tension in a storm of emotions and endless anxiety, the emergency room door finally opened, revealing a moment when time seemed to have stopped to witness the miracle of survival. The doctor walked out with a heavy gaze but also exuded a strong belief. Like a hero after a fierce battle with death, Jack and his mother, two people who had gone through what seemed like the greatest challenge of their lives, rushed to his side. Their hearts beating fast in the cold space of the hospital. The faint light of sunset shone through the window. The last rays of the day seemed to evoke new hope for both of them. In that moment, each of their steps seemed to be fueled by faith, by a hope that all the pain would gradually disappear. The doctor stood there, in a white blouse, carrying the announcement that had just come out of his mouth. His voice warm and certain. Currently, both mother and child are out of danger, but still need to be monitored in the coming time. That voice seemed to dispel all panic, bringing them a sense of comfort not only for the survival of the body but also for the hope of a bright new day. Jack's eyes sparkled, tears mixed with sincere gratitude, hugging his mother's hand tightly, as if embracing a future that they would walk through together. Every word the doctor said was not only medical information but also a promise of revival after tragedy. An affirmation that no matter how weak a person is, the will to live will always exist firmly. As time passed, everything in the hospital seemed to slow down, leaving behind the sacred feeling of the battle between life and death. Behind every door, every moment, were stories of sacrifice, of humanity and of the last moments that every heart did not want to forget. Jack and his mother, after hearing the doctor's announcement, could not contain their emotions. They gently bowed their heads to thank the doctor, who had not been afraid of fatigue. Faced harsh challenges to bring them hope. "Thank you, doctor. Thank you for everything you have done for us." His mother's voice trembled, containing deep respect and gratitude. Jack was also speechless, only silently nodding as an affirmation of the faith that had been lit in his heart. Those simple words of thanks filled the space with new life energy, as if each drop of dew at the end of the day was mixed with resilient souls. Immediately after that, they walked out of the emergency room to find Tien. The journey to get closer to her, the person who in the recent tragedy carried with her many mysteries of suddenly lost memories, was also the journey back to themselves, to the past and memories that have never faded. Jack and his mother felt as if each step they took was gradually moving towards the light, where every challenge, every pain had become a milestone for a new beginning. The atmosphere when they met Tien again was filled with mixed emotions, the joy of living, the nostalgia of being revived, and the worries that had not yet subsided. However, in that moment, the only thing they felt was the preciousness of every moment of life, of every breath carrying so much faith in a bright tomorrow. The journey of fate, of people who are indomitable in the face of adversity, is like a melodious song through many emotions, from anxiety, fear to happiness and hope. And in every moment, whether it is pain or happiness, they thank life for allowing them to live, to love, and to experience such wonderful things. The gentle morning sunlight shone through the glass window, quietly casting shadows on the intensive care room where Tien was lying. 3 days had passed since Jack found her in critical condition. Each day that passed was a battle of faith and patience. Even though she had passed the critical stage, Tien still showed no signs of waking up. She lay there, motionless, her face pale and weak, making Jack even more heartbroken. He sat by the bed, his eyes never leaving her face for even a minute. Every time the heart monitor beeped regularly, he breathed a sigh of relief. For the past 3 days, he had not left the hospital, staying by her bedside day and night. As the main caregiver, Jack was always the one wiping away sweat, adjusting the bedding, talking to her as if she were still listening, because deep down, he believed that love could awaken miracles. This morning, the doctor came to give Tien a general checkup. He carefully checked each index, Then gently turned to Jack and said in a reassuring voice, "The vital signs are now stable. Her body is recovering well. However, it will take time for her to wake up. It could be a few days. It could be longer. The important thing is that her family is there to help her feel connected to the world." Jack nodded in thanks, but his eyes were still quietly directed towards Tien. A silent sadness lingered in the corners of his eyes, as if he was blaming himself for not protecting her better. His thin shoulders seemed to be bowed by both pressure and anxiety. A moment later, Jack's mother entered the room. She looked at her son with sorrowful eyes. Jack was now emaciated. His eyes were dark. His face was tired and haggard. His mother approached, put her hand on his shoulder. Her voice filled with worry and gentleness. "Okay, my child, Tien is out of danger now. Go home and sleep. Rest and regain your strength. Let me stay here to look after her. Seeing you like this, I'm afraid that before Tien wakes up, you'll collapse first." Jack looked up at his mother. His eyes filled with tears. He knew she was right. His body was exhausted after many sleepless nights. But he still couldn't rest easy if he left Tien for even a minute. After a moment of silence, he nodded, his voice hoarse from lack of sleep. "Then stay with her and help me. Mom, if anything happens, call me right away. I'll go home and sleep for a bit and then come back right away." He stood up, walked slowly but still didn't forget to look back at Tien one last time. He gently held her hand, whispering, "Wait for me. Tien, you will definitely wake up." Then he left the room, leaving his mother sitting down beside the hospital bed, gently stroking Tien's tangled hair, like a mother lulling her daughter to sleep. While Jack temporarily returned home to rest after 3 days of staying awake by Tien's bedside, an emergency consultation was convened at the hospital to assess why the patient had not shown signs of recovery after overcoming the critical condition. The meeting took place in the 5th-floor consultation room, where neurologists, intensive care specialists, and radiologists participated to come up with the most appropriate treatment plan for Tien's current condition. The main attending physician, Master Dr. Trin Hoi Lam, intensive care specialist, opened the consultation. He presented the patient's current clinical condition. A 27-year-old female patient was admitted to the hospital with multiple injuries after a traffic accident. After 3 hours of emergency treatment, the patient was out of danger, and her vital signs such as pulse, blood pressure, SPO, and pupillary reflexes were all within the permissible limits. However, up to now, after 72 hours, the patient is still in a coma, with a Glasgow Coma Scale score of 8. After finishing the presentation, Dr. Lam projected a CT scan of the brain onto the large screen in the consultation room. On the CT scan image, the doctors could clearly see a thin subdural hematoma on the left hemisphere, accompanied by mild cerebral edema. Dr. Lam analyzed. "We found signs of closed head injury, most likely due to a strong impact on the occipital temporal region during the accident. Although no obvious brain parenchymal damage or extensive intracranial hemorrhage was detected, mild cerebral edema and microscopic damage to the frontal lobe may be the reason for the patient's slow recovery." He continued, "With such injuries, we suspect that the patient may be in a coma due to acute brain injury, also known as post-traumatic coma. It is predicted that if the patient regains consciousness, there is a high possibility of transient amnesia or mild post-traumatic cognitive disorder." Another neurologist agreed. The frontal and temporal lobes are two areas closely related to short-term memory and orientation. If there are microscopic lesions or mild diffuse edema that are not clearly visible on CT, we need to consider a brain MRI to further assess the brain condition. Other doctors contributed their opinions, including the proposal to use nerve stimulation therapy with sound, light, and familiar voices, factors that can help reactivate the patient's neural response. Some suggested using drugs to support cerebral circulation, prevent cerebral edema, and adjust the intravenous nutrition regimen to support neurological recovery. The consultation ended with the agreement to continue to closely monitor the patient's neurological condition for the next 48 hours, and to conduct some more in-depth tests and magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, to more accurately assess the extent of the damage and provide further treatment directions. Outside the hospital room door, no one knew that a difficult journey of recovery, both physically and mentally, was waiting for Tien ahead. After the consultation ended, Dr. Lam, who was directly treating Tien, walked out of the conference room with a thoughtful expression. He went straight to the intensive care unit where Tien was lying. and saw that only Jack's mother was sitting beside her taking care of her. After a moment of hesitation, Dr. Lam gently said, "Please call the patient's husband to the hospital for me. I have some professional issues that need to be discussed directly with the main family." Hearing that, Jack's mother immediately picked up the phone and called her son. Her voice was somewhat worried. "Jack, the doctor told you to come to the hospital immediately. There is something that needs to be heard directly." Receiving the call, Jack immediately drove back to the hospital, his heart burning. As soon as he arrived, he was taken to a private room to meet Dr. Lam. The doctor carefully presented the conclusion from the consultation. Although Tien's condition was no longer critical, the brain damage caused by the injury could cause her to experience temporary amnesia if she woke up. The possibility that she might not recognize her loved ones, even him, was entirely possible. Listening to each word, Jack collapsed. His throat tightened, his heart felt heavy. A heartbreaking vision appeared in his mind. One day Tien would open her eyes, but look at him like a stranger, without any memory of the love they once had. What would he do then? But then he clenched his hands, raised his head, and tried to keep his spirits up. He told himself, the most important thing now is to pray for her to wake up. As for later, whatever will come, will come. I will